so I previously did a video on what the FTC rule is. Stored back in the archives if you want to find it. The whole point is the FTC rule governs what needs to be in the franchise disclosure document. It is given to prospective franchisees at least 14 days before they sign a franchise agreement. Here's why I say that you need an attorney that is experienced in representing franchisees. I was recently hired to do an FDD review for Little Caesars, and this is just one example I'm going to give you as to how franchisors skirt around the FTC rule that they claim they're highly regulated for, okay? There's little loopholes everywhere, and unless you're trained to know what this is and how it works with this, you're never going to understand this. And that goes for attorneys too, not just franchisees. The FTD, this particular one, I don't want to say they're not compliant because they absolutely did. But if you didn't know any better, you would not know that they are trying to be cute with it. For example, item 21 is financial disclosure requirements. This rule requires that they disclose their financials of the franchisor, and then there's an or, a guarantor of the franchise agreement. Instead of disclosing their financials, what they did is they set up an LLC in one paragraph agreement that says, hey, this LLC that is our affiliate is the guarantor of the franchise agreement, and there's one single financial disclosure in there where it's one line that says $5 million due from the franchisor. So instead of disclosing the actual franchisor's financials, they set up an LLC that they own that has a one paragraph guarantee and a single quote unquote note from the franchisor for $5 million to cover all of the franchisees in this franchise. That's why you need to be aware that they're not regulated. Are they technically compliant with the rule? Yes. But unless you know better, you're never going to catch that. Another example is the tutoring center. Franchisors are required to disclose in the last 3 years how many people have entered the system, left the system, or transferred franchise agreements. What I found with the tutoring center is that they were disclosing franchisees as open because they didn't classify them as leaving the system. They know the franchisee is closed. They only considered them closed for disclosure requirements in their FTD if they signed off on basically a general release. There were several franchisees that were reported as opened that actually weren't. There were franchisees that were closed that were never reported. You know how I figured that out? It's not because of their disclosure. It's because I know how to dig and find the research and find the other documents that show me that. And that's exactly what I did. Here's what I'm telling you. Franchisors are not regulated. They're not. They say they are. They're not. They sometimes follow the rule. They sometimes follow the rule in the way they want to. And you better believe they hide information in these 400 pages that unless you're trained to look for it, you are never going to find it. Do I believe in franchising? Yes. Do I believe in entering into these agreements blindly? Absolutely not.